What's going on, everybody? Robin here. Welcome to my channel, Aries Fire Tarot. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. So yeah, this is my channel where I really want us to start building a community of spiritual warriors, like breaking out of the 3D matrix and climbing on our way to ascension into 4, 5D and beyond that. So today I'm going to talk about hermit mode a little bit. So yeah, guys, most of you know that I'm a tarot card reader. So of course I brought a card from the Witch's Tarot, and this is the Hermit. So you can see here, this is somebody that is looking vastly alone. Okay, so the Hermit card is part of the sequence of the major arcana. So the major arcana, it relates to major life changes. Okay, so if you're feeling any of these 6 symptoms that I'm going to talk about, you could be in hermit mode. And because this is part of the major arcana or major life path, this is nothing to be worried or stressed about, because this is part of your journey. Okay, so I'm just going to read a little bit. This is from the Witch's Tarot. I probably said that, but man, it's early here. I woke up at like 3:45 a.m. and couldn't get back to sleep. And I thought, well, I'll go shoot a video. So the Hermit card is all about taking purposeful time off, standing alone and looking within. When this card appears in a reading, blah, 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 it is a sign that you need to take some downtime for yourself and regroup. Now is the time for vision questing. I absolutely love that. Reflection, intuition, meditation, and self-development. Okay, so this is actually a really good card. This could precede your dark night of the soul, and it could definitely be an indication that you are on your way to a spiritual awakening, because the way out is in. So hermit mode gives you that time to go within you, have that deep contemplation. The vision quest I absolutely love. So this one is so funny. I do have 6 points here. The first sign that you're in hermit mode is being super sensitive to everybody. I'm probably going to hold this up the whole time because I do like a good prop. So being super sensitive to other people's energy, you just can't, like, you're just crawling every time you go out in public, or even the thought of it, you just feel like you're going to vom, you know, so, or comments, you're pulling back from, friends, you know, muting people on social media, not responding to people that trigger you. You could like sob uncontrollably during a movie, or just really having anxious thoughts, like just being super sensitive all the way around, and you're wondering what is going on with me. You know, maybe your thick skin is thinning, and there's a purpose for that. It's so that you can start to feel the energy and the spiritual connection of the universe, your fellow light workers and spiritual warriors like we are here today. So super sensitive. Let me know down below in the comments, you guys, if any of this has resonated for you, which point specifically relates to where you could be on your path right now, or help you recognize the phase that you went through. Maybe you went through hermit mode and you just have absolutely no idea why that happened. Okay, so the second thing about hermit mode is that you really like to spend time alone. And that's what the sensitivity is for. It is causing you to withdraw. There's nothing wrong with spending time alone, okay? There's certain parts of your path or your journey that you have to walk alone. You just can't, you cannot explain it to anybody else unless you're part of a community like this one. I have probably, I would say, 2 people that I can really go and say, this is what I'm feeling right now. And because we're on the same sort of part of our spiritual journey, it's absolutely understood. Okay, so you start to spend lots of time alone so you can understand what you need in your life, so that you can regroup with your guides and welcome in new ones. Start your path towards healing. You know, many people have very chaotic, traumatic lives, and all of a sudden it's time to just go back in with you, into yourself, so you can start to really regroup. Lots of people do tons of meditation, yoga, just whatever it takes. Your lifestyle could change. And a lot of us were triggered into a hermit mode by the pandemic, not really understanding that the silver lining to that was advancing the spiritual journey. Not to make light of anything that happened during the pandemic, you guys. That's not what I'm trying to say here at all. Your interests have evolved is another really good sign. You know, maybe your party life changed. You dropped certain friends again. You could be doing things that, like meditation. Maybe you just start, oh, that seems like a really good idea. Or start praying, or, you know, screaming your affirmations from the rooftop, not going out as much, you know, just really going deeper, watching different programming, or going on YouTube and finding different guides to follow. You know, part of my spiritual evolution was I no longer have like a cable TV or anything like that. So, and that I started finding different guides on YouTube, you know, how they suggest different videos for you. I found Victor Otto, I found Steve Nobel, you know, I found Trevor Ilsley, who talks about the dark night of the soul very deeply and wisely, I must say. So your interests evolve, you know, you might even feel like a completely different person. And that's the entire purpose of hermit mode. So the next point I have here is diving headlong into spiritual learning. Okay, so that's where your interests change. You're like, well, that just doesn't feel right for me anymore. So I also started reading a little bit. I can't read too much. I was talking to my friend Fawn about this because she's a writer. So she was like saying, oh, I'd really like to send you a book. And she did. And it was just beautiful. But I have a really hard time reading. So I started to really listen to audiobooks. Okay, so this was part of my spiritual learning as well. I've advocated for a couple of videos. They're audiobooks, but you guys can read or whatever floats your boat. Bringers of the Dawn, you know, mind blower. Ancient Secrets of the Flower of Life, and the Celestine Prophecy. Those are three big, huge ones. And then I also started watching, when I first started my spiritual evolution, I started listening to Paramahansa Nityananda. He was like absolutely brilliant, but he's a yogi master, so he like has this wicked sense of humor too. That's something about spirituality that I think a lot of people get a little bit confused. You know, you can still be like gangster and spiritual. You can still have a great time and be spiritual. It's not like you have to really give up any part of yourself. It's just embracing something deeper within you. And that is where sort of separating yourself is like what really makes me happy. Maybe not running with the crowd anymore. I'm finding a different crowd to run with. Seeking your life purpose. Okay, I think I've talked about this on my videos before. What is your purpose? Okay, so I think a lot of you guys know my story when I started my tarot card reading channel. Like I was visited by my paternal grandmother from beyond the veil. Like I was in my kitchen doing dishes and I heard this voice in my head and I knew it was her. It was like, you know, you need to start studying tarot. And I just kept on following those cues. And I thought that that was my purpose until I think it's been just over a year that I've been doing this channel where I found that creating Oracle Rising was my purpose, okay? So tarot is my passion. I can't live without it. Like I have to read every single day or I feel like a piece of me is missing. But my purpose is Oracle Rising. And I didn't find that, you guys, until I was 55. I'm 56 now. So if you haven't found your purpose in life and you're kind of like beating yourself up, oh, I should know this already, don't worry about it. That inspiration will come when you are ready to be able to shoulder the load of doing it. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about how that evolved for me too. Like I always knew that I was here to do something, but I never knew what it was. And I always had sort of this image of, have you ever seen like a phoenix where it's like unfolding and rising up? I always felt like I was here to help other people and support other people, but I didn't have the strength and the internal knowledge and the spiritual connection that I needed until very recently. Okay, so it takes a lot of strength to carry out your life's purpose. So if you're not quite ready for it, hermit mode can really kick that off for you. Something I want to say about hermit mode too is that you just don't know how long it's going to last. I mean, and the dark night of the soul is no joke. I mean, the dark night of the soul is so that you can face your fears and your demons and integrate your shadow self. And you know, the spiritual awakening is a journey of chaos and destruction. Like you feel like you're imploding, and then all of a sudden the light starts to come in. And you can see that with the Hermit card here. It's like this wasteland and you're by yourself, but you've got this light guiding you. That is your purpose. That is your passion. That is your spiritual awakening. It is your guides reaching out to you and pulling you through. They're like, okay, you are ready now for this dark night of the soul. Let's trigger it for this person. Okay, so, and then the sensitivity comes in, and then the spending time alone, and you could feel like, what the AF is happening right now? It's like so uncomfortable. And the sixth and last point I have here for you guys is that you might keep this part of your life to yourself, okay? Because like I said before, like maybe there's not a whole bunch of people that understand you, but as this community grows, we'll understand each other, you know? It's like, oh, I've so been there, you know? How can I help you with that? Like I have, and what is often said too is like the person that distances themselves from their family is often the most spiritually connected person. And all of a sudden, somebody in your family that might have been considered like, you know, the hippie freak or the weirdo or the black sheep, all of a sudden that person is making sense because they distanced themselves so that they could embrace this inner love and joy of the spirit realm and release themselves from the 3D matrix. And if you would bring this up at polite dinner conversation, like, oh, my spiritual awakening or my dark night of the soul or my hermit mode, and everybody's like, okay, you know, and they just look at you like you've lost your mind. So that's the withdrawal from people. And that is not speaking about stuff like this unless you know that person is going to get it and go, oh, yeah, for sure, you know. Let me reach out a hand. I actually watched this movie, or I listened to this audiobook, or you know what, this material was really good. Some of you guys comment the guides that help you out on your journey. And I absolutely love that because that's how we keep on expanding and pulling through hermit mode, like following that light towards purpose and evolution and escaping the 3D matrix. And guys, I love you guys all so much. I'm so excited to be here. Let me know if you like the video. You guys definitely say hello. Comment your favorite guide so that everybody in the community can pick up on it. Comment your favorite, you know, prophecy or whatever sort of material that helped you through a very difficult hermit mode or phase or dark night of the soul. I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. I have a big brown-eyed dog sitting here staring at me because she wants to go, you know. So, love and light. Love and light. Bye.